All right, guys, just a little bit of a cleanup. My ancient computer is acting extra slow today, I should say. So if the videos start getting skippy, because I don't proofread my videos or proof watch my videos or whatever. So if the videos start getting skippy again, make sure you guys give me a heads up. Or I also moved the mic closer to my face again since people were having difficulty with the volume, and I have it maxed out on the recorder here. But if it starts getting to where you hear me every breath I take, let me know that as well. But okay, so moving forward here, so you can see Japan's doing this little bit of a turtling. He did destroyer block up, so he can buy himself one more turn. He also sent a transport and took DEI. Um, for me, that's not the move I would have taken. I would rather have left that as if I was Japan. I'd rather have left that in UK's hands. I mean, economically, it makes sense because he's getting a +4 this turn. I can only take one of the islands where I would have had two islands after this turn, so he'll get +4 the next turn. So he is getting a +8 income on it for the cost of a transport and an infantry, and the infantry may get a hit back. So in that sense, in a pure economic sense, it makes sense. But now I can take both these with US and get my US manufacturing money islands set up that I like to get going. So that's an extra 4 build for getting into the late game. Um, if we get to a late game, I'm not 100% sure this game's going to go into a complete late game. The other potentially questionable is he went ahead and built a factory on Manchuria this time. Now, I say potentially questionable. I think he's okay. Normally, I see a late round four, a late IC build for Japan. I'm all hungry. I'm targets on. I'm like, hey, that's a free factory for the U.S. But he does, his setup here. He's got going pretty good where he's doing a heavy fighter build, right? So he's got 8 fighters sitting right here. And if I can't take it this turn, which I can't, then next turn he'll be able to build 3 and be able to land a ton of air there to protect it. On the flip side, he does also have to protect Tokyo, right? So he'll have to protect both of those. Um, but I'm not gonna be able to take it the next turn either. So he'll get a couple builds of 3 ground units in there, and then he'll have this heavy air floating around. So if I land near it, he'll be able to blast them with the ground and the air. If I land directly on it, he'll have a pretty heavy stack there. So he might be able to preserve building 3 units at a time here. The only thing inconsistent with that is I don't love this pushing forward. Pushing, he did it last turn too, pushing all his J units forward. Yes, they're taking away Russian units, but if he would have kept those back, he would have a pretty massive force here and make landings by US pretty difficult. But as is, this is looking pretty weak. So this stack is going to start marching up this way. I'm going to start landing on the coast here, and I'm going to start getting pressure there. But it's probably going to be, I mean, to be frankly honest, a few rounds till I can really get pressure on that. The second thing that's already going through my head, it's a KJF, so allies. I'm always looking. Okay, so what about the victory city count? So victory cities, we need 3 more to win. Obviously, one would have to be over here on this side. And then we would need 2 over here. He's stacking Karelia, so that's going to be difficult. And of course, Berlin, unless he makes a goof, which I do got to keep an eye on that. I have the tendency not to keep an eye on that, and I've had people make goofs there, and I completely missed an opportunity. But in reality, that leaves these 2. In order to get to Italy, I'm either going to have a transport over here or a transport over here. This is the one that most people tend to miss, and you can sneak and get Italy. When you put them here, normally they see it, and they'll protect it. But I'm not really going to have the ability to get one going this way because I'm going to focus my transport shuck this way, and my units going this way because of this factory up here. So I don't know that I'm going to have a transport over here to do that secret one as long as I win this battle, which hopefully I will. Even if I don't win it, I'll still have some potentiality with hitting UK air against it. Not that that's really ideal. If I don't win it, then I send one infantry back. But if I do win it, I'm going to go ahead and take both these infantry back with me up to here, where then I can threaten a 1-2 on Finland for Germany trying to come back and get their money back. And I can also, if he doesn't do that, or this is defended well, or he stacks it, or whatever, then I can come back down here to Morocco, because presumably he's going to have to give up this stack and move his fighters up to the front lines to put pressure. So I'll be here, and then of course UK will be in range of France, and we'll sit there. So that's going to be the timing of US4, US5, maybe US6. At the very least, it makes him pull some units back this direction. So I want to plan max pressure up here on US6. And that's the good thing with the factory. He's going to want to protect the factory. He's going to want to protect Tokyo. And he'll need to protect this victory city if we get to it. And he's sent a lot of his ground units out. So he's going to have Japan 5 and Japan 6 to be able to protect all three of those. That gives me US 4 and US 5 to get as much into range as I can. So US 4, I'm planning on bringing most of my fleet together and pinning the rest of his fleet down. Taking one of these guys. I got to, I've got the 2 fighters I got to protect against. These 6, 1, 2, 3, they can't do anything. And it doesn't matter which island I take, these 2 can reach. So I do got to protect against 2 fighters, but the rest of the fleet can go on in. So I'll probably use the UK to protect back this way. But yeah, so US 4, I take an island. US 5, so I'll have the 1 transport here. We'll have transport 2 here. This one, we're going to get it somewhere within range, so that then, if I have to come here, I can come here for 4, and then US 5 coming into here, so that hopefully I'll have 3 transports. We're building a factory this turn, so we'll be able to have some infantry there. Maybe we'll be able to build a transport with the infantry if these infantry survive Dick and Borneo. And so all of that's to say, I want to keep all my units. I want to make sure that these guys are getting as close as we can. My build's going to be consistent with getting as much force up this way as we can. And we'll see. I mean, I doubtful, because again, it's easy to block the Italy, so I don't expect it to be there. But who knows? That double pressure on both these territories by itself is going to be good. All right, so purchases, we're building the factory. I decided to go 2 fighters and a transport. So since we're getting both of these for US now, I do need a couple more transports. So I'm going to go ahead and build a transport. He's going to be naked, which, again, if all he has to do is build a bomber, it's going to make it harder. But even with the fighters kind of floating around, it could be a challenge depending on what he does with his fleet when I pin him. But, if they don't build a bomber, which I bet he will, but if they don't, then I just come here, US 5, US 6, US 7, I'm shucking onto the mainland. But even if he builds a bomber, 4, I go the long way, 5, 6, 7, 8, I'm shucking. So it's a 1 turn delay. So I might as well build the transport. It's one less I have to build up here. And I can focus on protective ships and planes and infantry and whatnot. Fighters is because I did take this a while ago. So, right? So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, they land there for 5. And now these fighters can go 1, 2, 3, 4. They can go 1, 2, 3, 4. They can go 1, 2, 3, 4. So they can be the recovery fighters on US 6. Because the other thing that I'm focusing on, in addition to all that pressure, US 6 is when I want to start trying to get fighters to fly in to help protect against a G7, G8, Moscow. So we're going to start leaking fighters from US, from the West Coast, basically, into Moscow to help protect against a G7, G8 timing. And I'm sure my sniffles and coughing and abnormal voice aren't helping either. I've debated back and forth. Do I want DEI now or Borneo now? And I'm sure I'm going to change my mind later, but I'm going to go Borneo first just because it can reach Japan. And the sooner I can build up there, the quicker I can put pressure on landing in Japan. Oh, the question becomes, do I go ahead and use the carrier? So I was going to use UK to defend him, but now I think about it, that would be 2 infantry and a cruiser. Ugh. Maybe I just use the US to protect. I think we may end up doing that. I'm going to do a quick calculation because I hadn't thought about this, but I do want to do that. I do want to do that. Actually, the one sub I might use to kill him and kill his transport with. And the reason being, I could kill them easily enough with my UK air, right? But I'd rather be using my UK air going up this way. If they go that way, they can't go that way. And then the other thing too is, if I end up having to use my UK carrier for protection going 1, 2, they can't get back up there as well. So I may just use a US sub to take out the transport here too. But I want to just make sure what all exactly I need for my defense here with using a destroyer to kill his destroyer and coming in here. So I'm going to pause for a second here. Alright, so I think I got an idea of what I want to do. I am going to go ahead and just use my sub to take care of that transport because I don't really need him for my stack in C-Zone 60, and I can't do the other idea, which is that I was considering, which I was considering trying to get this fleet to be able to come right up to 59 or 58 and pass some boats back there, but I don't think I can stack 60 and one of those two, and I want to be arriving 60 because I want to pin him. So we're just going to use the fact that we took the island here so we can come down to here so these fighters can't reach me. They got to go 1, 2, 3, right? And the carrier could come get him, but then these fighters can't reach, so 1, 2, 3. So I only got to worry about 2 fighters reaching there, and so we'll go here 4, and then be able to come into one of these 2, 5, and then in. So I think we're going to end up coming back and stacking 48 next turn and 36 from the fighters for US5, and then taking the last of the islands. So, alright, so with that said, transport, buddy. Go, cruiser. So we got cruiser, fighter, 2. What we got sitting here? Carrier. The carrier's got to go pick them up. Oh, I forgot to mention with part of my buy. So I'm not coming over here for my transport to pick up. I'm going to move them up here with my 2 fighter by just in case he does a last ditch um, go for here, uh, unless my destroyer lives, in which case he'll be blocked, and then maybe I can just bring him back to pick up these guys and leave those 2 in Africa and just let them walk around through the world. We'll see. All right. That looks good. Got the sub, destroyer. That one, got that one. This head cold is not. Head colds are not fun. I just completely blew. Oh, yay, cruiser. Way to miss. Hello? Everybody missed? Okay. Alright, here we go. Thank you. Ah! Dang it. Frustration. Yeah, and except my computer's struggling, so I know it struggled on that one, because even I wasn't seeing the dice rolls. But yeah, I just completely bombed my duos game. Just, I mean, I can't blame on the head cold. I just bombed it. Y'all will see if you watch the duos game. But I want to blame the fact that my concentration maybe wasn't as good because of my head cold. Come on, just finish him, tank. Roll over him. Ugh. Just please kill him, tank. Thank you. Thank you. So many rounds of rolling there. Nice. Good job, sub. Yeah. Thank you, fighter. And so he got the hit back. So we'll pull the units out of Africa. I think that's the kind of thing that I find funny, that a battle up here in C-Zone 63 determines what happens with troops in Africa. Alright, you gotta go catch this guy. You're gonna come on over here with this guy. Oh, I forgot about... I forgot I have my transport taking those 2 guys. Duh. Oi. Ah. How do we make the best out of a poor situation? Hmm. we'll move these guys back, because if he does take it, we'll move him into there. Silly, silly, silly rabbit. Ah. I mean, it means he gets Alaska and he gets to hold it a turn. Well, no, not it. Well, yeah, I mean, if he attacks there, I mean, he can. It's limited, but it's frustration. I mean, he can't not be able to build here, and I just hate making silly mistakes. I guess if he doesn't give me anything, I can always send one of these two transports back to Alaska and take care of it. Ah, see, head colds. I tell you, we are going to leave him here. I haven't actually done my calculations in Russia yet, so I'm going to pause the video because I haven't really figured out what I haven't even looked at Russia yet. But I do want to give Russia as much freedom as we can, so I'm going to leave the fighter there. I don't know if we'll have enough to be able to attack these guys and still stack, but we do want to give them everything we can, all the help we can. Silly, silly rabbit. Gosh. All right, pausing. All right, so picking up, just doing my placements for the US. We'll go ahead and again work on our turtling up. So I'm gonna pull my other screen up so I make sure I don't goof up here, because obviously my brain is making too many mistakes these past few days. West Russia G5. So I'm going to choose, since you put this stack here, instead of trading with, I was going to take Ukraine, but instead of trading with Germany, I'm just going to go ahead and keep dwindling down Japan's units instead as a preferential. But I do need to make sure that I end up with 4 tanks over here, so I can only use 2 tanks. And then we'll have the 4 fighters, and I need all 5 artillery and 5 infantry. Actually, I guess I don't have to use. I could use artillery back here to help me make this battle better. I need 10 infantry and artillery all together in here. So this guy's got to stay in Arch, right, to protect Moscow. So he's got to stay out of the equation. But we've got 8 here. 9 and 10 would come from here, and we got these guys. So I was planning on doing this as an all infantry attack, but we'll go ahead and use at least one of my artillery, right? So we got 8, so I could use 2 artillery. Yeah, okay, we can use 2 artillery there, actually. All right, woohoo. All right, so let's use our artillery here. And I did that, so now I have someone attacking from all 3. So just in case of disaster, I can retreat to any of those 3 locations. All right, so there's my 8, 10. All those got to go in there. He's going to be my 4th tank back. This guy I'm leaving as an optional because I want to have 2 infantry still living in here so that my tanks aren't very vulnerable to the infantry artillery. Thankfully, he has no air in range. So if I have to, I'm going to move him in as a reinforcement. But if not, I'm going to move him here so that he's got a 2v1 to protect the income. Come on, 2 infantry live, 2 infantry live. Lots of hits right off the bat. For the offense, not the defense. Got to clarify that. Got to make sure the dice gods know who I'm talking. Oh, I forgot my fighters. Crap. Oh, why is my brain not working? I... Trap nabbit brain. I... Dang it, and he hit. Crap. Brain. Idiot. Oh, I gotta stop playing. Oh, I gotta play when I got a cold. I don't have a choice. Well, we gotta move all these guys in. We don't got a choice. And I really wanted to, because he can hit my tank now by doing this. Oh, well, I got an infantry I can move in from here. Oh, I could move my fighters in from here before he gets a turn, right? Yeah. UK to the rescue. Oh, I cannot think straight. I can't believe I didn't put my fighters in. Lost way too much there. I shouldn't have lost that many. And those precious artilleries. Although, he's getting to that point when he brings these tanks blitzing in. I mean, he's going to be able to get West Russia, but at least he'll be a turn behind again. He'll be G6 going into there. And we got fighter pumps coming from here, and we'll have a fighter pump coming from here. This is just so much more frustrating. And when you watch the duos video and what I did in the duos video, this is just so much more frustrating. We still got our 10, we got our 4, we got our 4, yeah. 10, 4, 4. Oh, man. At least I'm not letting Japan blitz me and win. Oh. Alright, well, time to take a break. Alright, so Germany on their turn bought 2 tanks, 2 artillery, 7 infantry. Looks like he took Arch, continued to build up in there, did not try to take the West Russia shot again. Let's see, okay, so he did take Northwest Europe. Makes sense. Like I said, took Arch. Blitzed into Finland and back. Which, I mean, yeah, I guess. Makes sense. So, and I'm still not going to put an infantry down yet, so I can't do anything about that still, but all good. 1, 2, 3, 3. Yeah. So, anyways, I was looking and it looks like I can still actually stack West Russia as it is, because we got 4 fighters, 5, 6 fighters, 7, 8. I'm going to let the other fighter in here. I only need one of my UK fighters up here, so I can continue to stack West Russia at this point, with 8 fighters, and then moving in, so many of my other units. What do I need? I need like 15, and I only counted 5 tanks in case he went for this shot and got one of my tanks. I only counted 5 tanks making it back, but even with that, with the 5 tanks, 8 fighters, and 15 other units, I still got a 95% chance of holding versus this. So, and we've got 10, 17, 18, so that gives me 3 infantry that I can use on taking out him. And I could use more even, because like I said, I got 95%, so even if he does take him. So I feel pretty good. We can stack West Russia again. Again, anytime you're going against a KJF, I think this is a mistake as Germany. These are units that could be up here right now and pushing me off West Russia. So I don't like stacking France as Germany in a KJF. Just my tidbits for you guys. All right, so purchase-wise, we're going to buy 6 infantry. We're going to buy 2 fighters because we're going to, like I said, we're going to do our fighter pump here. So we'll put 2 more fighters in here. And we're going to be sending fighters up from this way. We're going to be setting these guys up hopefully over the next turn or 2 to be coming in here. And then we'll have our US fighter pump going. So UK-US fighter pump should keep Moscow standing for a while. So I'll do the trig game with him. I did realize with his fighters here, 1, 2, 3, because he took Gibraltar, I forgot all about Gibraltar, he could do these. So I'd really need to take both these, so I am going to take a stab in the dark, hopefully, and be able to use a tank infantry to take him, so that I can continue with my plan of the US coming down here and just choking out the rest of the German income from Africa this next turn. Right now I plan on just moving everything in. I'm just going to do that for the moment. I can't see any reason that anything would change from that actually, because we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna start pushing and marching up that way. Come on, tank, just roll them right in the bat. Roll them off the bat. Erg. Come on, tank. Miss. Whew. I mean, I would have lost my transport, but now we're happy. Go fighter pump. Oh, I forgot to take Northwest Europe. Come on, Chris. Nope, might as well just pump them over there. Doink. We're going to destroyer block him from being able to take Philippines from underneath me. And we're just going to bring him on up there with us to float to wherever we need him to. And the main reason, you know, again, I could have dropped him over here. Probably should have gone ahead and dropped him now that I think about it. On the coast where he can't reach this past turn. I should have dropped him. See, I am not playing my best game right now. Anyways. Because all he could have done, he could have air bombed them. Which is fine. They're just UK troops, right? But whatever. Whatever.